Hello again, I'm Dr. Nev and I'm a licensed psychologist. This is part 1 of my 10-part series of techniques you can use to help you improve the relationships in your life. I frequently utilize these techniques with clients in my private practice and I hope you will find them to be useful as well. If you are experiencing significant distress, please contact your local psychologist. Also, if you suspect that you are in an abusive relationship, please contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline. In today's video, we will discuss 3 basic interpersonal skills that will convey respect to the person with whom you are interacting. The first skill is basic and it's known as active listening. So if I were to ask you, are you a good listener? You would probably say sure, or yeah, I think I'm a pretty good listener. But most individuals aren't quite as good at listening as they think they are. So one of the key things I want you to consider is when somebody is telling you something or you're engaged in a dialogue, do you find yourself actively paying attention to every word the person is saying? Or are you finding yourself daydreaming or perhaps even formulating a rebuttal to what they're saying? Be honest with yourself and really think about it. It can be hard to pay attention and to be an active listener, but here is one helpful tip that can help you improve your skill and take it to the next level. So what you can do is practice saying every single word that the other person is saying in your head. So for example, as I'm talking right now, try saying every single word that's coming out of my mouth inside of your head. And if you keep doing that for a few minutes, you will find yourself much more engaged. You will be much less likely to misinterpret or not hear everything that I'm saying, and your ability to listen and then effectively respond will markedly improve. So that is my first tip. Repeat everything the other person is saying in your head and see how that works for you. The second strategy is called reflecting. So with reflecting, what you're essentially doing is just reflecting back to the other person what you think they said. So for example, if somebody's upset at you about something, you might say something along the lines of, you seem mad because you think I did not take the garbage out on purpose. Am I getting that correct? So you're giving the other person a chance to essentially correct you if you did misunderstand what they were saying or the reason why they were upset with you. And it's better to make a wrong guess than to not try guessing at all and just assuming that you perfectly understood what the person was trying to convey. This is an excellent technique and therapists use it frequently. And the only other little caution I would give you when it comes to reflecting is try not to parrot back verbatim everything that the other person said to you. So for example, if they say something along the lines of, I really wish you would lock the house every time you leave, don't say something like, you said that you wish I would lock the house every time I leave. Try something along the lines of, it sounds like it's really important to you that I lock the house. So essentially you're saying the same thing, but you're not repeating it word for word, which can sometimes aggravate the other individual and make them feel that perhaps you're making fun of them or not really taking the situation all too seriously. The third and final technique I would like to discuss today is all about observing the other person's body language. So body language can tell us so much about what the other person might be thinking or feeling or experiencing. And it's really important that we focus not just on ourselves and what we're saying, but what the other person is projecting back. So what is their eye contact like? Are they giving you direct eye contact? Are they looking down? Are they, rolling their eyes? Are they looking annoyed? What are their eyes telling you? Also look at their facial expressions. Do they seem to be frowning, smirking? Do they seem to have worry lines around their eyes? And also look at their body posture. Are their arms open, crossed? Do they seem like they're leaning back or leaning forward in interest? And, other things you might look at is the distance between you and the other person. Sometimes they will pull away if they're uncomfortable or do not like what you're saying. And is their leg shaking or are they tapping their hands? Perhaps they're nervous or irritable. So those types of things can give you a lot of useful data as to what may be going on with your conversation partner. I would also caution you not to assume that you have the correct interpretation just because you notice them engaging in a specific body language behavior. So for example, I would encourage you to again use that reflecting, but instead of repeating their words, you're essentially reflecting what you think is going on with their internal state based on their body language. So you might say something like, I notice you shaking your leg every time that I say such and such. I'm wondering if that statement makes you uncomfortable. It sounds like you're having some kind of a reaction. Am I off the mark or am I onto something? So again, you're using evidence based on their body language to essentially further the conversation and let them know that you are paying attention and that you are being attentive to what they're saying to you. So by practicing active listening, reflecting, and noticing another's body language, you're that much closer to helping the other person feel heard and understood. These techniques are very simple, and if you practice them enough, they will become second nature to you in no time.